Okay, hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I begin with this lesson, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakudash, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai being the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashim in the name, Rakakudash, Spirit Holy, or Holy Spirit is how you would read it in the Hebrew. Okay, because you read Hebrew from left to right. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and great millstone who do rule well. Shalom to the whole full elect man, you can pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth with all truth and sincerity. And you few sisters, man, shalom, shalom. Let me get 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and I'm going to start at verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof. And none knows. Israeli soldiers reported to have said that they were fighting ghosts and backed off. Many even started moving. I'm not too sure what that word means. I'm going to Google it. See mutiny. An open rebellion against proper authority, especially by soldiers or sailors against their officers. Okay, so they're going against their own mission. And it says Israeli soldiers reported to have said that they were fighting ghosts and backed off. Many even started mutiny. This also reminds me of this precept. But before I get this, it said what in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter? That he's going to smite Egypt with plagues as before. And what were some of the plagues that happened, during the time of Egypt? Well, this was Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and verse 1. The Egyptians got plagued with apparitions. So even though these Salakia Ishmaelites think that their God is the one doing this, it's actually the Lord of the Bible, because this is actually judgment. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17 and verse 1. For great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed. Therefore unnurtured souls have erred. Right? For when the righteous, for when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness and fettered with bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid under secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. You see? So, hey, that's the spirit. It said they were, with the dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished, man. Look at them. But when you go to mutiny, it's like, we just read it, a rebellion, against what their mission was. And it's probably because, they're astonished with forgetfulness. They don't know what they're doing. You see? And what happened? It says, and troubled with strange apparitions. They're seeing demons, they're fighting demons. And this is how you know we at the end, bro. Verse 4, for neither might the corner that held them kept them from fear. Hey, that's the spirit, you see. For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, you see. They're trying to get comfort and shit by these dudes, but hey, nah. Neither that could have kept them from fear. But noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances, like demons and shit you see on movies, right? Like The Exorcist or Insidious, right? So on and so forth, right? Hellraiser, and they're looking at shit like that. Verse 5, no power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful, for being much terrified. They thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. You see? So they're closing their eyes and they're still seeing that shit, but they're more scared to open their eyes to just see what the fuck is actually the Lord's plaguing them with. Verse 7, as for the illusions of art magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace. For they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from the sick souls were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. Hey, man, but back then they were going into these, they were going to these how do you say it, necromancers or whatever, necromancers, to try to purge out demons and going to these different witches and shit. But even they were getting plagued with these apparitions. So nonetheless, this is actually scriptural. Okay, these plagues are gonna come straight to America, Babylon the Great as well, man. You're gonna have the apparitions, you're gonna have, Leviathan out here, you're gonna have chariot sightings, you're gonna have, all types of, manners of things happening here. It's gonna be like a time never before. But I also have this pulled up in the NLT, so brothers able to because I know that the KJV can get a little you can get lost in the words. But this is verse 7 in the NLT, Wisdom of Solomon 17, and I'm gonna actually get straight to the point. Let me see. That's not even the one I wanted. There it is. Okay. No results found. That's wild. Okay. Let's get the GNT. There you go. Verse 17. Let's get verse 3. They thought that their sins had been secret and unnoticed, shielded from view by a dark curtain of forgetfulness. But now they were horribly afraid, confused, and terrified by ghostly forms. And this is going to happen to, also, during the draft when Jake gets sent out there, man, you guys are going to be dealing with these damn apparitions as well, too. Because that's them movies, man, that Esau Edom makes, they know what they, these lesser luminaries, they deal with the left-hand side, bro. And they, get orders from these demons and so on and so forth, which is why, these celebs, they look possessed damn near most of the time. Let's look at verse 3. And they thought that their sins had been secret and unnoticed, shielded from view by a dark curtain of forgetfulness, but now they were horribly afraid, confused, and terrified by ghostly forms. You see, and this is why when you go into that word mutiny, right, they were going against their mission, right? They were turning their, they didn't know what the fuck was happening because they were confused. Not even the dark corners where they could protect them from fear. Not even the dark corners where they lay could protect them from fear. They were surrounded by horrible noises. Grim ghosts with gloomy faces appeared before their eyes. No fire had power to give them light, and the brilliant stars could do nothing to relieve the deathly darkness. There was only dreadful fire lit by no human hand, that none of them, and in their terror they believed that the real world was even worse than the things they imagined. The illusions produced by their magic tricks were put to shame, and all the wisdom they had boasted of came to nothing. They had claimed they could drive away all the fears and illnesses of sick minds, but now they themselves were sick with silly, groundless fears. Even though nothing dangerous had actually happened, they were terrified by hissing snakes and animals advancing on them, and so they died shaking with fear, afraid even to open their eyes, yet unable to keep them shut. Shaking with fear, man. Look at his arm. I think this is a game, man. we're coming to the end, bro. Matthew 24 and verse 21. Then they, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be, man. So all y'all saying that, Jacob's trouble was during the time of, the siege of Jerusalem, or any other time period back then, that's not so, because this time is going to be a time like never before. And you can also get that in Jeremiah 30:7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it, man. You didn't have Leviathan. You didn't have, apparitions. You didn't have, famines, chariots, so on and so forth, all in one bundle, right? You did have those things happening, but you didn't have them all in one great bundle, man. And that's what this time of Jacob's trouble is going to be like. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he, the elect, shall be saved out of it. Okay. Judges 10:14. Go, and this is talking about Jake, but nonetheless, these are the nations, they got their own gods. I'm going to start at verse 13. I'm going to start at verse 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. And that's what it's going to look like. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what I want to touch up on. Nothing too crazy. Just, hey, nonetheless showing y'all that this is in the scriptures, and it actually is crazy. Salakia. Okay, you got World War III down the street. We got the Kuragma getting ready to be, implemented. We got famine, dollar crashing, so on and so forth, all brewing up and happening right before our eyes. So Jake, before, that's why we do this, man. Let me get this. In the book of Revelation, 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. You see, you can get to the nitty gritty of how, the Lord, how did he actually create the dust? All them deep ass questions and shit that Jake has, right? Them superstitious ass questions. Okay, but this is why you're supposed to stick to prophecy, bro, because we just have everything we need for salvation, right? And if this was written, over 2,000 years ago, and it's happening right now, right before our eyes, how much more should this solidify your faith, bro? And then how much more real are these judgments? So, man, we don't got too much time left here in Babylon the Great. These things are happening at a rapid rate. Things are speeding up. And yeah, man, it'll behoove you to get right, because you do not want to follow or fall under these different types of judgments that the Lord has. Okay. Let's go back to 2 Esdras 15. And I'm going to start at verse 12. Egypt, which this is talking about Babylon the Great, shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. Because when you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, what does it say? I will bring thee into Egypt again with ships. And we didn't go back to Egypt. And we didn't need ships to go back to Egypt. So this is talking about where we were sent to, which is what? America, Babylon the Great. Right? Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with the fearful constellation. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, because it's going to be happening all across the globe. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. And this is going to go into Jacob's trouble. But nonetheless, man, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Okay? We're here. Not too much time before, the Lord really just lets loose. Because it's a time of judgment.